Thank you, Chair. Recent events and at the Reform Conference, I think there's been some concern raised by comments made by the leader at that conference. And I think that it wasn't meant in the way it sounded. And I'm hoping that that's what the leader is going to reassure me this afternoon. But I think what we wanted to get to was the comments, particularly for me, around the birth process and, you know, women being asked about domestic violence. I think sometimes we forget that people in these situations, it may be their only time to actually disclose what may be happening to them. People who are living in controlling, coercive relationships very often don't actually get the ability to say what's happening to them. You know, let's not forget 1 in 10 people are affected by domestic violence. And one of the things they said to us is it's subtle signs, actually. It may not be people being angry in a meeting. It may be that the woman looks to the man for everything and won't do anything without a kind of tacit permission. But they're trained to pick up on this. It's not a kind of, oh, we think that one's a wrong one. There are always reasons. You know, I mean, we did some training yesterday and, you know, people are encouraged to look for evidence. People are supposed to say, not I think he's a wrong one, but actually I noticed that the woman was hesitant. I noticed that, you know, she appeared afraid. There were pinprick bruises, all kinds of different things. And so for me, you know, the impact on children of domestic violence is probably one of the worst. And I think that's really critical that we trust our professionals. It's really important, you know, when people have trained for years, when people have done specialist trauma-informed training and things like that, that we learn from them. We can't tell them because we haven't got that knowledge and experience. They have got the knowledge and experience. And I think the other thing is, you know, it's quite right that we as councillors never see case files. That is absolutely proper and correct. And, you know, for me, I think it's about just reassuring the public that absolutely we don't have that kind of access. And I think, you know, if we can reassure people that that's the case, I think people will feel a lot better about this. And that's the purpose and intention of this motion.
In terms of paying tribute to the Soroptimists, that organisation, and what they do to support women and girls. And in fact, over the weekend, I spent quite a bit of time actually corresponding with a lot, as I know Councillor Dixon did, and speaking with people on a one-to-one basis over the weekend in the Soroptimist organisation about this matter. They were incensed, I think is the best way to describe it, in terms of what they saw in the social media and the feed that they were seeing coming through from the conference. So I will pay tribute to them, and I echo the thanks for staying with us for this length of time. And hopefully we will move this forward and there'll be less for you to be concerned about going forward. Thank you.
And I don't think we should underestimate the concern that some people have about confidential information being released. And I've been contacted by a number of my residents on this very point. And if we agree the motion here, then of course people will be reassured and carrying on having confidence in the council services in situations which could be very fraught and very difficult, and getting to a resolution requires absolute trust. Therefore, I support the amended motion.
This motion today, yes, again, portfolio holders do not have those powers to go through that anyway. But do you see that this motion shouldn't really be needed to go through? Because if I don't have the power, then why are we putting through it? It will show to the people that there has been a problem, which there hasn't been. So I do urge this council vote against this motion. Thank you.
What I don't want to see happen is a knee-jerk reaction to what was, I wasn't there, so I don't know, but what was possibly a bit of clumsy language from a young man, which I've got a boy, so I understand that.
I'm raising strong opposition to this motion. He spoke about a genuine problem, that fathers can feel sidelined and even reported to social services for being strong and passionate in the fight for their child's care. He argued for a common sense approach to referrals. This motion is a political motivated attempt to publicly censor the leader from raising important issues. I urge you to reject this motion. Let's not allow this chamber to become a platform for personal attacks which we've seen today. Vote no and let's get back to governing for the people of Warwickshire. Thank you, Chair.
Things we're talking about are happening to real people. They're not hypothetical, they're not pretend people, they are real people. So for me, one of the things that really concerned me, and the thing that probably got the most contact from anybody, was the concern that actual social care files had been seen. That was the clear concern that was raised to many of us in this chamber. And that's why the wording in the motion and the amended motion is around operational case files, things that nobody apart from a professional social worker should see whilst they're here, or as they go to court, they go through the right people as they go through to court proceedings. That's what our social workers do. That's what our social workers do each and every day when they look at cases, when they see what's happening. So this is about restoring our reputation as a county council. It's not about slamming anybody. It's about just saying we change our policies and procedures properly and we make sure that the things we should not see, we do not see. That's all it does. And I ask you to think again, support this motion.
We're now voting upon the amendment, which is the substantive motion. And all those in favour? All those against? Any abstentions? 23, 24.
23-20, so the amendment is lost.
Oh. The vote was 23-20, so the amendment is lost. So. The vote is lost, sorry.